Very, very, very bad. Sometimes it is fluctuate too much.
Yeah, so welcome to our weekly New Global Media Talk Show. Today is December 15, 2024. Today we're going to be discussing National Bushfire Day. National Bushfire Day. And we have our guest here, Sulayman MS Jagne. Sulayman, welcome to our show. And I have my co-host, Sam Ceesay. Sam, welcome. And I also have Famara Drammeh. Famara, welcome, my co-host. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So, Mr. Jan, we're gonna just jump into it. Um, I'm pretty sure it looks like he's dropped out. Yeah. So, but we're gonna pick it up from Mr. Jan as soon as he returns. But for now, Famara, you can spearhead this discussion since you are more familiar with these environmental issues. Then Sam and I can come in as we go and ask questions or contribute as well.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sawaneh. Good afternoon, Sam. How are you today? Another week, another great topic, National Bushfire Day. And as you introduced already, our guest is Sulayman MS Jan, who is Communication and Extension Officer for the Department of Forestry. So he's a very good and experienced guy in the forestry, has been working there for a while. So he will take us through about the importance of this day and why the Gambia government or Department of Forestry decided to set aside this particular day for to sensitize Gambians about the impact of bushfire. So we all come from rural area, and we all know we come from some part of Gambia. Sometimes, we have experienced this in the past. Bushfire. Bushfire is a fire happening in the wilderness, or even from the compound. Going to the wilderness, and it has a lot of devastating impacts when it comes to bushfire, because it can have impact on people's livelihood. And if you say livelihood, it could be your peanut farm or your cashew nut farm or even your livestock. So the impact of bushfire is very, very devastating. So important, especially this time of the year when the rainy season is over and we are getting into a dry season. So this particular day was set aside by Department of Forestry to enlighten and sensitize the people of Gambia about bushfires, because most of our forest parks have been affected by this, bushfire. So, and this is why Forestry Department find it very important to engage the local communities around the forest parks, and then they also work with the National Disaster Management Agency, and of course the governors and regional local authorities, to sensitize people, because that will bring the knowledge out there, and then people can also know what to do. So now Mr. Jan is back. So he is going to tell us more about the bushfire. But Mr. Jan, before we go further, can you introduce yourself? What is your education background? And how long have you been working with Department of Forestry Department? And then, why is it so important that the government of the Gambia, especially the Department of Forestry, has decided to set aside this particular day? I know it's December 10th, but today is December 15th, and I know there are preparations also on the way to celebrate this particular day. So, Suleiman, can you tell us more about yourself, how long you work with the department, and as a communication and extension officer, what is your job? What do you do a lot? And how and why is it so important for us to sensitize Gambians about the impact of bushfire? And then
Yeah.
your level of education as well. Thank you.
Mr. Jan, yeah, we can hear you. Mr. Jan, we can hear you.
I don't think he started yet. There could be a lag in the internet for him too, as well.
He's not muted. Are you muted?
Thank you so much, Mr. Drammeh.
Yeah, internet is not stable in Gambia, so it's been.
Yeah. So let's continue while we're waiting for Mr. Jan to come. So I know Bushfire, Sam. You probably heard of it. You
Yep.
work in the Gambia, and then of course we all come from rural area. Maybe Sawaneh, you have seen this in the North Bank before. So it's basically just to raise awareness because people go for, especially in the villages, people will go for hunting in the bush, for example, and then you know how they chase rodent out of the hole, and sometimes they smoke these rodents, and once the rodent come out, and then they forget to put up the fire, and they will just go, and then at the end of the day, that fire will be blown by the wind, and it goes into the vegetation, especially the dry vegetation, and then the fire will ignite, and then the whole forest ecosystem will be burned down to ashes. And if there is communities close by, if they do not have any fire boundary or fire breaks, it could even go to into some communities and have impacts on the livelihood and then settlements as well. So Mr. Jan is back, so you can continue.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Thank you so much, Mr. Drammeh and Mr. Sam. Yes, are you all? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes,
Yes,
you're good.
yes.
Yes.
Are you all hearing me?
Yes, you
Yes.
good.
Good.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But I'm Sulayman MS Jagne. Yeah. Originally, I'm from Nyamina, Jareng, Central River Region, and Saint Sierra South for that matter. Well, as Famara rightly said, I've been working with Department of Forestry for almost about 2 decades now. It's about 16 years now, working with Department of Forestry. And currently, I'm a senior forestry officer serving on the communication and extension program. But I guess that name will be changed very soon to communication and public relation office because there was a meeting, stakeholder meetings where consultants was assigned to come and see us in forestry department, and my suggestion is to change that name from communication and extension to communication and public relation office, simply because people need us. They need us. They want us to tell them something, but we cannot still say it. So I feel, we are neglecting people's rights. So that's why that was before the PS. So not the PS. One of the PS has assigned one Mr. Sanyang, which is from Jagne. Sorry, Kiong Kuinala originally, but he said this is assigned by our ministry. So during that stakeholder meeting with him, I told him that we need to change the name. He said, why? I said, yes, because people need us. And without talking to people to tell them exactly what they want to hear from you, we are neglecting their rights. And I guess that need to be observed. That points need to be revisited. So that's why I said that name of communication and extension program need to be changed. Okay, from there, I did my primary school at Jareng Primary School, junior secondary school, Bekamba Junior Secondary School, senior secondary school, Kauru Senior Secondary School. From there, I rose to GTMI, Gamtel Training School, where I did my IT. From the IT, I had a advertisement by Department of Forestry that they were doing recruitment. That's where I joined with Department of Forestry. And during that process, I secured another scholarship from Personal Management Office, PMO, to go and do my Cisco Certified Network Associate. And I was doing these two courses with Kafuta Training School, National Forestry Training School, and MDI at the same time, simultaneously. So from there, and I also did diploma in environmental science, 2-year diploma in environmental science with one of the universities in Ireland, Ellison. And I did design monitoring and evaluation 9-month program. And I did my honor degree in forest science at India just recently. And currently, I have started my master degree program with one of the universities in UK, Bangor University, on environmental forestry. It will be partly will be online, partly will be in class. So I guess maybe in next 6 months' time, if things are going well, I will move to UK, inshallah Rabbi, to complete my master degree in environmental science, environmental forestry. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
All
So
right. Thank you very much, Mr.
Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you. All right.
yeah, thank you so much. So
Yeah.
Famara, I think Mr. Jan can go in
Good.
the bushfire, the real topic that we have.
So the other question is like why? All right. Exactly. So as I said, as Famara rightly said, the bushfire, the reasons of the government of the Gambia and Department of Forestry set aside the day for forest fire in the Gambia. It was a bushfire, but we said now we want to change the nomenclature to forest fire, simply because we feel, we need to protect the forest. The other areas which is protected by other stakeholders. Now, Forestry Department feel to change the name to Forest Fire. The reasons of setting aside this day, Famara and Mr. Sawaneh and Sam Ceesay, is very, very important. You see, right now, during the investigation that has been done by FAO just recently, Gambia, our major problem in the Gambia here is bushfire. We all know forest can able to replace itself within 5 years if there is no bushfire. But the major problem, that's why when the Banjul Declaration was done by Sadar Karaba Jawara, the first things it has mentioned was the bushfire. If you have the full story, you find that in the scale of preference of all the matters he has mentioned, the bushfire was on top. So that's why Gambia feel necessary and Department of Forestry feel necessary to set aside every year on the 10th of December as an anti-forest fire day or as a forest fire day. So the importance of forest fire, the importance of this day cannot be overemphasized, because we all know right now we are doing this is to remind people, to refresh their mind on why we should celebrate this day. Because the importance of this day is to refresh our audience, our communities, especially community forest areas and state forest areas, so that people will definitely know, yes, this day is important because they are refreshing our mind to be careful on forest fire. Just recently, I was on track. I think I informed Famara about this. I was on track. I was informing people just recently. I told them that it was a very important meeting that was held at Kiang West, with the chief and some of their Carlos and the VDC. I told them that the celebration of forest fire days on the 10th of December every year. I told them that now it's just at the corner. And the reasons of celebrating this one matter for this day is to refresh our mind on the negative impact of forest fire on our forest. And when I said the two chiefs who are present, they are welcomed by this remark very well, and they also add on top of my words to their VDCs and the district chiefs. Everybody was happy, and we all understand the importance of it is to refresh our mind and to tell people the negative impact of forest fire in the Gambia, and not only in the Gambia, but even in the sub-regions, because sometimes these fires that has emanated from around the border side doesn't come from directly from Gambia. The investigation has shown that last year that almost about all the 10 forest fire that has happened around the border side came from customers. One came from around Bunkiling. Other one came from around after Nyamanar, Picadus. Other one came from the other area after Jiboro. I don't know the name. I can't remember the village name again. So these are all these things are all these things are issues that we need to address. That's why the day of on the 10th of December is very important. The forestry department and the people and the department and the Gambia at large. If am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Keep going. Yes.
You hearing me?
Yes.
I don't know whether you are hearing me very well.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you, Saul.
It seems my voice is turning up.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
Famara, you can go. Famara,
So that's
you can go
why
ahead.
I think.
Yeah, Famara, you can go ahead and spearhead
Okay.
the discussion with
Okay.
Mr. Jagne.
Okay.
We're gonna come in as as contributors. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Saul. We can hear you very well. So you are saying that bushfire sometimes come from
Okay.
outside the Gambia, and you mentioned about Bunkiling in Casamas, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
exactly. And Picadus.
okay. So in the Gambia, which region is more affected by bushfire, according to the data from Department of Forestry or in your previous records? Which region is more vulnerable to the impact of bushfire?
Famara, that one, I think even a small child in the Gambia here all know that LRR is the most vulnerable area.
Okay.
LRR. And
Why? Are
every
they?
year,
Uh-huh.
yeah, according to them, they said, according to the narrations that have been made, according to them, there is always a tendency of all the fire that has emitted around LRR is because they have neighborship with this other village, Kabada.
Kabada.
They said those people they believe, yeah, Kabada, they believe every year if they want to migrate their animals from one side to another side, they must set fire. That's our reasons.
Okay. Is that
According
a
to them.
cultural belief
That's number
or
one reason.
okay?
Huh?
Is that a cultural belief for
Yeah,
them?
because all that no. All the investigation that they made to find it out why this place is always born. After all the investigation, after the conclusion of the investigation, they found it that it is the people around Kabada that normally migrate their animals from Casamas to Gambia for pasture. So if they are doing that, for them to see their cows in the forest, they feel necessary to set fire on the forest, so that they can see a far distance.
Okay.
That's their thinking,
All
and
right.
that's the what the findings has already been proven that is the people of Kabada. And also the second thing also is around that area, from Nemakuta to Kayaf N, you go to Jarasoma N, all those area you go to no, this place mm, that name on the north there, that hill around the Nema down there. There are a lot of vehicles, these big lorries that have been parked around. So their apprentices and the drivers are always there, lighting fire at night for them to do something, or whether to to cook something. At the end of the day, when their vehicles are set, they just fill those fires. They just leave it like randomly like they haphazardly and leave. So that one also used to be another factor of fire in LRR because they have a lot of nodes. Even in CRR also around Jackal N, from Jackal to Basse also Helakunda, all those things according to findings, there are factors causing bushfire around these areas. And
All right.
that results I can bear with it because Helakunda last year, there was a problem there, and the findings shows that it was truck drivers that set the fire. And Jagal also in 2011, when I was in Dankungu as a implementation area head, yes, the same problems echo. So when they said around these areas, it's because of the lorry drivers and the border side of Kabada, one can be able to bear with those informations.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jan. I know there are plans to commemorate the Bushfire Day, according to what I heard from the forum. So maybe we'll discuss about that. But
Yeah.
for the time being, I will allow my co-host, Dr. Sawaneh, to come in if you have any question, and then Sam will come in as well, and then we'll just go into the next stage, next phase of the questioning. Thank you. So, Dr. Sawaneh, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Famara. Yeah, this is a familiar
All right.
topic. You can hear me, right? Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is a familiar
Yeah.
topic. Being grown up in
Yeah,
a
very
village,
well.
I've witnessed many bushfires, and then I have seen destruction that damages it cause to the populace. Uh, it might have some benefit in terms of some of these things that Mr. Jagne mentioned, like clearing the place. But to me, bushfire, should be contained. If you really gonna have to lit fire, you should be really containing it just for the benefit of the individuals or the people around there. But if you just want to just light a fire just because you want to clear the place so you can see your animals, I think that the danger in that is that you might even end up destroying the habitats of the animals. I think bushfire, the danger of it, you know, is usually the burning of homes and villages. I used to remember when I was in Badibu or Swarekunda, we used to clear the side of the village, around the village, just to make sure that when the bushfire comes, there will be gap between the last compound and then the last houses, and then where the grasses are. We used to leave a big gap so that the fire, when it comes, it can stop and not get into the compounds. And that caused a lot of work, because we fear that we might be asleep or something might have happened, and then the bushfire would burn, and then you know maybe run into somebody's home. And once it touched one house or one compound, it started multiplying. So we used to be doing that, when the grasses started getting dry, and we started, when the dry season comes, we started to do that just to protect the village. So I have seen damages of fire, so especially fire coming inside the home. Certain villages, especially the villages with the huts that are made of grass, they usually got fire. Now, another thing is our environment. Our environment need to be protected. It's rather we have. I think there's somebody echoing. Can the person be in mute? Yeah. Okay.
Let me
It's
check.
better now. It's better now. So if you're not speaking, you can be on mute. Yeah. So what I was explaining is that we need to protect our environment. The birds need a place to lay their nest. If you want to burn all these places, there wouldn't be any place for the birds to build their nest. The animals need to hide, and they need to sleep in the some of these forests. So we need to be more careful with what we do with our environment, especially people who go out and hunt. Because I have witnessed a lot of situation where we go and hunt, and sometimes we will be cooking these animals. Once we caught them, we would ready-madely cook them there from the fire, which tastes very good. If we can relate. It tastes very good, especially the squirrel. I mean, nothing tastes better than the squirrel, freshly caught and then put on those fires. So what we have to notice is, and I see Sam and the Sulayman and then even Famara smiling, because probably they ran into that situation. It's different from dicks though. It's different from those big rats. The squirrel has some taste. So, but anyway, this is the reason why we should be very mindful, in our bush, because what happens is, like, sometimes we leave this fire burning, and wings will come and then blow them. And then also those who goes into the school are trying to like smoke them inside the hole. I mean, inside the tunnel, and then end up having the squirrel come out, and of course dogs stand by, and then they will catch the squirrel. We forget about once the squirrel is being caught, we forget about the fire, and now the fire will burn behind us. So these are very important. And then smokers too. Smokers, most of the time we smoke, we litter, we smoke, and we don't turn off the cigarette. And if you leave the cigarette in a place where there's a lot of grass, and it ignites, it could create fire behind you as well. So it's a lot of ways that the police fires getting caught and then causing bushfire. However, we don't have the we don't have the mechanism to stop them. We usually use water. I mean, I remember one time, the attack was coming to our graveyard. I mean, like next to our village. I mean, we had to go. The villagers had to go get, buckets of water, trying to stop, this thing coming to the grave, because of the fact that people, loved ones have been buried there, and we don't want the fire to get there. So bushfires are very, very dangerous. If you've been in the village, I mean, you've lived a village life, this is a nightmare. I mean, when the time comes, especially during the wind, when it's windy, I mean, you don't even know where this fire comes from. Nobody could even allegedly, accept or claim to be responsible for those fires. And of course, other means are there that actually cause the fire. So I would say, in order to reserve in order to reserve our this thing, what do you call it, our forest, we need to be mindful of this, so our animals can breathe, and we can also have for a good forestry for our individual use. Thank you.
So you were saying sometimes the bushfires are natural, sometimes they are not man, anthropogenic. So sometimes it could occur naturally. You don't
Some
know
people
where it
even believe that maybe the genes even has
responsible.
hands on it. Sometimes people even believe that, because nobody could claim
Right.
of doing, lighting up those fires anywhere.
Anywhere.
So,
Okay.
Tagabonde, something like
You know,
that.
talk about it. Okay, maybe Suleiman would have experience with that, engaging with local communities when it comes to bushfire. But Sam, what's your take on bushfire?
All right. Well. This is a very interesting topic, but I do want to start first with Sulayman Jagne. Mr. Jagne, I want to thank you for your effort and the time that you're spending here today. But most importantly, I want to thank you for making that suggestion that in your department to change your title, or to not just a title, but your department to public relations or something office. I think it's very, very important. I always say, from the president all the way down, everybody needs to realize that you're there for the people. We're there to serve the people. Anytime you see anybody in service, you're there to serve the people. So the people's interest should be the best thing for everyone. So I'm glad that you guys are doing that. And the next step I would say is to try and incorporate some civic education in this wildfires that happen in Gambia by going on television and radio stations, if you're not already doing this, by sensitizing people and letting people know the impact and the implications of these bushfire and wildfire. Because when people create these wildfires or start these wildfires in our country, it has a lot of environmental damage, environmental implications. The wildlife get impacted big time, and we want to encourage the wildlife. But at the same time, I mean, all the trees in that area will get burned down, or will at least dry up to die. And trees are very important in our resources. In our environment, we need trees. Trees supply a lot of things for us. So, with that said, I would say that another thing that we could do, or you guys could do, is instead of relying on the people saying this is the most cost of fire and the fire starts more here and there, I would encourage your department to really put a little bit of resource in there by providing transportation, tools, and technology for you guys to go out every time there's wildfire. You guys go out and investigate. You may be doing this already, but the part of the official the reason for the official investigation is to gather facts and get all data that is associated with a wildfire, so that you could be well prepared to go on television and tell people here are the facts about fire. Because fire, is like all of you said, can be started in numerous ways, like people smoking cigarette and just toss it out there, and that ends up being a fire. People starting fire in the bush and then not turning it off and leave it there because they don't have any water to turn it off, or whatever reasons, they leave them there and then move on, or they use the fire for whatever purpose they need it for. At the end of that, once the intended purpose is served, they forget the fire and move on, and that fire becomes wildfire. So all of these are important, I think. In the places like that one place that you mentioned where they intentionally set fire so that they can migrate their animals, I think that's completely wrong. That one person cannot set fire for his own interest because they want to migrate their animals and impact the whole environment, impact the whole community because of those fires, because the trees will be burned down, which is going to create more heat for people. The fire, when you start fire, you don't know where it's going to end up. It can end up anywhere, even burning people's homes. So there is a lot of consequences into it. So I think using all resources and collecting data and all of that stuff, sensitizing people, but at the same time, you can also face your National Assembly members and challenge them to put tougher laws on people that intentionally set fires in the country, because it's bad for our environment, it's bad for our wildlife, it's bad for our human lives as well, because there'll be a lot of smoke in there that in the area people will be impacted with.
Sam, I don't
Yes.
want to put you short, but
Yeah.
I wanted to
Go ahead.
Sam, are you hearing me? I said I don't want to
Yes.
cut you, but your that word of saying we need to engage our National Assembly members to make a law that will be controlling people who just feel to set fire on the forest. Sam, I can tell you this for free. The government of the Gambia has set all these things aside. And what happened is like Gambia, we are having a lot of challenges, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's a matter of like all these mechanisms are not in place. They are there. Government has already put all those things there. But what happened is like Gambia, as it is small as a double roman palo, it is affecting this Badia syndrome of mbading is disturbing us. That's the fact of the matter. You see, all these things that what we have been saying here, honestly speaking, I can tell you for free, and Famara is here, can be a witness. Government has put all these things aside. All these regulations and laws are there. You see, I want to tell you an example. There was a fire. There was a fire incident in 2011 when I was in Dankonko. As my father is the Alcalo of Nyamina Jareng, as the biggest village around the area in both Nyamina West, Nyamina East, and Nyamina Dankonko. Jareng is the biggest village. Okay, my father being the Alcalo, there was a fire between Jareng, Kerebilan, and Kerekadi. And I went to all the three Alcalos. I told them, look, there's a fire that happens between between these three villages. Can you just go and help me to find out who are the culprits? And what they did was they went around, and I also did my investigation and established my facts. And it found that there was one imam who has a lot of talibes around that in the Dara there. So my father and the other three alcalos connive. They said, now this man is from the is from Dara. The kids, they don't have anything to eat. So and so. They said, now let's just put things under the carpet. But knowing that I'm also from Dara and I'm from Nyamina as well. Investigations. When I did all those things, I just kept everything in order. When they said,
no, I can't hear. I think it's the network.
Yeah, the network. Yeah, Famara, you can comment while
But-
before.
It's frozen. So I think he's telling us, giving us an experience where he's a forest officer in the Sierra region, and then there was a bushfire between 3 villages, and none of these villages were taking ownership of the incident because according to the Forest Act, if they don't find anybody responsible for the fire, all the neighboring villages got responsible. So I think he's trying to give us an example of that. And I think I've heard it before from him or somebody else. So him being the forest officer at that particular region, he has to, charge all the 3 alcalos, including his own father, because somebody or one village has to be responsible because the fire comes between these 3 villages. So obviously, if one village did not take ownership, then the neighboring villages will all have to bear the responsibility. I think that's the example he's trying to give us here.
Okay.
Yeah. So while we're waiting him to come, so obviously, as you guys said, fire is very important. Just like you said, Sam, about the extension and also communicating to the Gambian people and using the media. In fact, that's something me and Sulayman has been discussing while he was in India, because I didn't know he was in charge of communications and extension in Forestry Department. So I was telling him, when you come back, this is something that you need to start engaging the media houses. Talk about the forest law, because right now the Gambians don't know much about the forest regulation and forest laws in the Gambia. Even in your own backyard, Sam, if you have a tree, a naturally grown tree in your own land that you bought, before you build a house, if you want to cut down that tree, you need to take a permission from Department of Forestry. And not many people are aware of this. But that is in the Forest Act. But today we have seen a lot of real estate companies are buying big chunk of land from in the Combo areas or in anywhere in Fonyi or across the country. But then at the end of the day, when they buy this land, they will just get a bulldozer and bulldoze all these trees that
everything
are
else
naturally grown, and they are providing a lot of ecosystem services for the whole country. But this company will just come and bulldoze all that tree without following the right procedure. So Gambians don't know this, and sometimes people report these incidences to the Department of Forestry, but they are not taking steps to hold those people accountable. So without the media involvement and him being the communication officer, without coming out and talk to the media houses, come on various platforms, and talk to Gambians, educate them about forest law, this kind of violations is going to continue happening. So thank you very much, Sam. You mentioned that important point. I think it's something that me and Sulayman have been working hard, and he's trying to do that. I think this idea of him adding public relation to his title, I think it's a step in the right direction.
I like that.
Have confidence. So that's a great contribution, Sam. Thank you so much.
Good. Well, so that takes me to the next level. Is I guess the next thing. That's why when I was saying, when I was talking, I said if you're not already doing this, or if you've not already done this, so I made the suggestion, knowing that it could have already been done, and I'm glad he said that those have been already put into consideration and they're being done and things like that. They already have good laws in that too. So that takes me to the next level. The next level is the same common thing that happened in the Gambia is we have a lot of good laws, but nobody enforces them. So that's the same thing. It's just like the police. There's a lot of things that they need to enforce, but they don't enforce them. They will go after minor things. There are a lot of drug trafficking in our country. Instead of going for the big wigs, they're going for the small batches of drugs in the street. So this is our problem. So I guess we need to address the country, the government, to really step up their game to help this. But at the same time, the first part that I said, the communication part, engaging the people, having a civic education on national television and radio stations, very important to let people know, because people don't know. Most people in the Gambia, if you tell them what's the purpose of a tree, they may not even know. They will say, well, if it has fruits that people can eat, that's good. If it doesn't have fruits, then it's useless tree. They cut it out, So these are things that they don't know. So they need that civic education. So I'm glad, Famara, you're working with him to bring that up. And if they can do that, engage the media and do that public education on all of these. I think down the road will pay off. But until then, people are just ignorant. They don't know. And if you don't know, you don't know. People that don't know, they don't know what the impact of what they are doing. So somebody's got to tell them and show them examples and give them tangible reasons why this is bad, why setting up fire is bad. I mean, I'm surprised that one group of people, or one person or a group of people can set a whole forest on fire just to clear the path for them to have their cattle go through there. I mean, leave those trees there. Leave those, don't set. In fact, if you think about it the other way, if you leave the, without setting the fire, if you leave all the grass and all that, the cattle can feed as they go. They will have something to eat as they go while you migrate them, rather than clearing the whole thing and they go hungry all the way from point A to point B. So somebody just need to, that education is the part that we need to enforce on, and the government need to encourage Sulayman and empower him. Pay for television. They don't even have to pay. They can just go to GRTS, which is a government-owned place, and go to GRTS and have some television programs there, even if it's once a month. Have a 1 hour dedicated for forestry and environment, and come in and talk about, allow the environmental experts in the Gambia to come in and talk about the environment and consequences of people's actions that they are ignorant of. So I think it will work very well. But this is a great topic, and I'm glad that we have him here. Yeah, and thanks for your involvement, Famara. I know that you always stand out and always will do the best thing for Gambia when it comes to environment.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
So Sulayman is back.
Yeah,
Sulayman, can you hear us? Okay, so connection issue still in the Gambia.
Yeah.
So Sawaneh, this is the situation in the Gambia. Like Sulayman partly said, we have very good laws, but we are not good in enforcing laws. Right?
Yeah.
And then there is no point in making laws if we cannot enforce them. Nobody is above the law. It doesn't matter whether you're a minister or a president, but nobody is above the law. And once we started, enforcing the law appropriately, then obviously we are creating a very bad precedent, and then obviously, it wouldn't be respected anymore. And then the people that are very poor are being held accountable, yet the same violation is done by people in the higher office or with responsibility, with trust, and they are violating the road and they walk away with that. So obviously, that is not going to help us as a country. So I think these are the things that we need to look into. And then obviously it's very prevalent. I remember when President Jagne was establishing a zoo in Kanilai, and then some of his workers at the Kanilai Zoo were instructed to go and catch young juvenile crocodiles in River Gambia National Park, which is against the wildlife law. So I was in charge at a particular time. We have to drive all the way to Kanilai and tell these people, you have violated the law. You shouldn't be doing that, irrespective of whether this pool belongs to the president or not, but you have violated the law. And then what they did was to send a whole truck full of soldiers to go and forcefully confiscate those crocodiles from our rangers at that particular location. So we had to drive all the way to tell them, and so don't do this again. What you did is break the law. Since you already released the crocodile in the pool, we are going to give you a warning this time around, and next time if you do it, the law is going to be enforced, and we are not going to care who is responsible for this pool. That's how you do and hold people accountable. And thank God, the park manager was very understanding. He apologized. He said he doesn't know. So you see that people don't know about these environmental laws. So it is up to us to come out in public and educate them. And I'm glad that Sulayman is back. And these are some of the plans that Sulayman wants to do, because recently he was on Fatu Network. Shortly after he came back from India, he had a very good conversation. And I want to encourage him to do that, go to other various platforms too, and then, educate people about forest laws and environmental laws so people can understand. So Sulayman, I know you, before you went, you were talking about the fire incidents in your own community where your father is an alcalo. So how did it end up? Did you charge all the 3 alcalos or what?
Yes. Yes, thank you so much, Famara. What happened was like I sent a summon letter to my father and the two alcalos around the area. I told them that I'm going to take you to court. So when I did that, people think so that maybe by that time I was taking some
Some drugs or something.
marijuana and other stuff. But that was not the fact, and that was not the matter. I don't even, yeah, I don't smoke. I don't smoke at that time, and even now, I never smoke marijuana, neither other intoxicated I don't know, drugs. But what happened is that one has to be bold enough to take the law as it is, as already it is set aside. It's not me who made the law. It's not my father who made the law. My father sent me to school to make sure that what Gambia government assigned me to do, I do that. So what the Gambia government assigned me to do that's what I did. I took my father to court, and they were fine. And when my uncle stood aside, he said, "Alcalo," I said, "Chief, please do your ruling with mercy." I get up on the side. I told the chief that if you do it on the favor of these people, what the law said, you do not do that, I'm going to write about you, and I'm going to send a letter to your minister, and I'm going to send it to your governor as well to take you to.
Well, network is Sulayman is breaking up again.
Network is very bad. So I told the chief that I'm going to take you to court, to magistrative court, of why you break forest law. He told me that, Mr. Jagne, I'm not going to do that. I will do as you wish. I told him that this is what the act says. The act says, whosoever, if there is a fire incident between three villages and the culprit is not known by the alcalos, you need to fine them $8,000. My father will pay $8,000 by force. If he did not pay, he's not going out of here. He has to go to Janyambure to attend what they call as prisons. So the chief told me that, but you are very annoyed. I said, no, that's what I should do. This is why they sent me to Dankunku to make sure that what the forest law says and the act says, let me do that. So if I'm doing that, that doesn't mean that I'm stupid enough or mad on my father. I said, my father is my best friend. But when it comes to work, I have no best friend. That's the truth of me. Whether you knows me or not, but those who knows me in forestry department, I think Famara might have a lot of friends in forest department wildlife. They all know me in that way. I'm bold enough. When there's a friendship, we do it outside. But when there's a job, I don't have any friend. That's Sulayman.
Well, can you allow me to jump in here, Famara, a little bit?
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, well, Mr. Sulayman, so I would say that you're one of a kind, because we don't see that happening in the Gambia. We all know Gambia being Gambia. And that's why when I was talking from the beginning, I always say, first, I commended you for the initiative that you took to change your department to public relations and things like that. I think that's a great thing. But second, taking some actions to do some things, like some of the things that I was recommending, I didn't even realize that you've already been on television and things like that. I think the government need to empower you to go to GRTS as well, use the government-owned television station as well, and all the media stations can and educate people. I think Gambia, our problem is we have a lot of good laws. Gambians like to write all kinds of laws. We like to talk about all kinds of things, but who are the people that are going to enforce it is the problem. And so that's why I say you're one of a kind, someone that would stick with the law and try to enforce exactly what needs to happen. So taking a step back here.
Sam, yes. I'm not cutting you. I want to finish everything. There was another incident. This is the hunters that are coming from France to hunt in the Gambia, and they are given licensed by Parks and Wildlife, Famara, your people. There was a serious incident between me and them when I was in Dankunku. Because what they do is, like, when they hunt, when they are ready, the cells of the gun sense. all those cells, they pack it at one side in the forest and set fire on it. And we all know the gun cells is the top part is a plastic. We all know that. So that plastic, when it starts burning, it can burn more than 3 hours or 4 hours. You understand? So this is what they do, and like what happened was that imminent a fire that has burned almost about 22 hectares in the forest.
Wow.
So I said I'm going to take them to court. They said no, this people are too bad. This people are too bad. If you take them to court, they will put you in trouble. These people, don't do that. I said, look, let me lose my job today, but I'll do it. And I take them to court. The chief said, Sulayman, hope is safe for us to take these people to court. I said, if you don't do it, chief, I'm going to take you to court. Yoro is alive. He's in Bullock here. You can ask him. He was this chief. So chief told me that if I don't do it, you're going to take me to magistrate court. I said, yes, I'm going to take you to magistrate court. Because of why you are the one we authority, the Forest Act has given you the power to do the to do the court. You understand? Between us and between Forestry Department and other people. So if we don't do this court, then I also will sue the court. So
wow.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
You're a tough man. You're a tough man. That's what we need in Gambia. If every department can get somebody like that that will enforce the laws, we will be in good shape.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll be in good shape. So he's
muted again. I know we have 9 more minutes to the 1 hour. So if he comes back, maybe he can give his last word. And then before that, we'll get Sawaneh to come back in. And maybe Sulayman can tell us what strategy the Department of Forestry is employing.
Let's send a summon to them. He wrote a summon. I went with this bad messenger to the...
Oh, now he dropped.
He dropped,
Yeah.
So I just want to contribute a little bit to Sulayman's taking people to court. Even his own dad. I mean, like I think that is a memorable part of this talk show today because having to take your own dad to court and anybody else who seems to have power, I think that is a very, very good
example.
It doesn't say anything like other people might be looking at. Maybe Sulayman is going out of boundary. No, the man is applying.
So it's due to network. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah,
am I audible?
You can just come.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I just went out from my house. You see, what happened was like I took the guy I took them to court, and what I did was like when they came to the court. To the chief, I told them that look, I want you people to pay 2 times of what the Forest Act is saying. They said why? I said because in France you cannot set fire there because of after hunting. It's a negligence. I told them that your act is negligence. So negligence of your act will push me to charge you to pay double price. They should pay 16,000, but now instead of 16,000. They have to pay $32,000. And I told the chief that because of negligence. In France, they will not do it. I asked them, one of their camp owner, I told them, the chief of the camp, I told them, are you going to do this in France? He said, no. I said, why are you doing it in Gambia? He cannot answer my question. I said, yes, because you think Gambians we are sleeping. But Sulayman is here to regulate everything in this area here. So up to date, after I left that area, there is no fire caused by those people. And all the 3 villages also, when that happens, they all went to a meeting. They were saying it there. They said the guy here, he has no mercy. Even the father is in the court. So there was no fire incident until I left Nyamena East, Nyamena West, Nyamena Dankungu. And I went to Basse also in Tumanna and Kantora. Similar thing follow up. This one Lankas they are saying, all those things there are regulations that help us there. But we need to bold enough. Look, if the door is closed, the window will open for you. One has to believe in Allah and see that whatever the God has assigned on your head, that will happen.
Yeah, Sulayman, I have a question.
But we people, Gambian, believe in this too much that government this. No, government has already set the laws. and they are there to guide us, to back us for that matter. But one also has to be bold enough. We need to be bold enough. Gambians, we need to be bold enough. Let us not believe in that. If I don't have someone in top, no, government has already backed you. So then you failed the government, but government did not fail you. So our problem is the Badia syndrome is number one. Two, Gambians, we don't believe in ownership too much. Gambia belongs to the people of Gambia, and we all understand that this Gambia belongs to us. There will be no one coming from France or America to come and make Gambia for us. The people in America, they made their country by them, their citizens. So ourselves, our Gambians also, we need to be bold enough to make our country so that people also can come outside to emulate us and to work for us. We pay them. But how can we do that? We feel we should not be bold enough. We feel if your head is if you save your head, then there'll be no other hair coming out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. If your hairs are out, you think the other hairs will not grow up. That's the Gambian. That's the belief of the Gambians. And Allah has created. That's why it has shown us that the design of a door. If the door is closed, you can move out through the window.
What about the window is closed?
No, the window will never close. The window will never close. There'll be a means. Allah will give another means also for you to go out.
Yeah,
but we believe, even myself personally, there are other things that are happening within our environment. I feel like the responsibility given to the individuals are not doing their job. If government gives you a position as a director, as whatsoever, you understand, and now you think so, the president will come from status and do that work for you. He has trusted you and give that responsibility to you. Or the permanent secretary will come from his permanent secretary office and come and do this job for you. No, it's director. You have a technicians. Those they are no, I don't want to, all cannot be said. All cannot be said. But we need to take our responsibilities. We need to take our position as a trusted area given to you by the entire Gambia. It has to come through the president or through the minister. But it's the Gambians. Those are paying you from taxpayers' money. So we should not neglect them.
Absolutely.
Not neglect them. That's my belief. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So Sulayman, I have a quick question.
Yes.
If at all nobody claimed the fire.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The fire could be mysterious. How do you confront that?
You said like a fire is not the culprit is not been known.
Yes, it could be mysterious. It could be the word of work of
yes. But normally all this fire that has happened normally emanated between villages. It will be mysterious if the culprits are not known. And if you cannot associate, you cannot able to read along the line to associate things. You see,
because sometimes they would claim Sam did it, but Sam would swear, and sometimes they even go and try to touch the Quran to make sure that I cannot take if you did it or not. So I have seen claims like that, but and then at the end nobody knows where the fire came from. I mean, who actually lit the fire?
Yes.
So in that case, what do you do?
Okay, now if that happens, if things like that happens, that means that it has to be out of the village area, and also it has to be in a distance that it is very, very far from, like maybe it might very far from the village, could be around, let's say, let me give an example, like Kudang, Kudang, between Kudang and the riverside is very far. So such things, one can say it might be a pass bias, or it might be an exhaust of the car. But even that, when you just go and do your findings, you ask which car has passed here. They will tell you, oh, blue car has passed here, or red car has passed here, and it's from so and so village. You understand? Or it went so and so village. Or there was a pass buyer with a motorcycle here who went there last time. Since that person passed, all these narrations, you put them together. You can able to put them together and have your facts out of it. My investigation and other people's investigation might be different. When I'm doing my investigation, I can do my investigation. It takes me 2 weeks just to establish whatever I want to build. And after the conclusion of my investigation, my facts are always accurate for me personally. For me personally.
Okay. So
Yes.
that is one thing. Okay. Now after somebody claimed that they did the fire, is it that they need to
Okay.
pay some of the damage that has been done or what?
Yes, of course, all those things need to be known very well. All those things need to be known. If it is known, now all those things need to be put together. How many Kaya Senegalese have been affected? How many grassland, how many slopes have been affected? You cannot count each and every one of them, but through the sampling, what we call samplings. You understand? You can able to know how many hectares has been born, and in each hectares, how many trees are in within a hectare, in how many meters or how many square. You need to know all those things as a forester. Then from there, you look at the big trees also that are affected. You put all those things there. You take it to the chief. So you can tell them that you see, Mr. Famara has set a fire in so and so area. These are the things that have been affected. And during our samplings and investigation, we found out that these are the things that happen. And the damages are this and this and this and this. Famara needs to pay this and this and this. But now, yes.
Do you take anybody to jail for this?
Yeah, of course. Why not? Why not? Why not?
But what about the act of accident?
No, but fire. If fire happens in accidents like what? Because like if I may know, accidents like what?
Like if I go look for honey and then I
no, but okay, that one is not an incident.
No, I'm saying if I
As-
cause a bushfire because I was kind of like trying to fetch honey from a
Yes.
tree, and I happen to end up fire end up escaping out of control and become a bushfire. Why would I be convicted for that?
Yes, you should be convicted.
Why?
You should be convicted. Now, before you do your before you
I
set
didn't do it
fire.
intentionally. I didn't do it intentionally. Why would I be convicted for that?
No, you should be convicted. You should be convicted. The reasons of you going to tap that honey, the reasons of going to tap that honey is to make something out of it. Am I right?
Right.
And you make a lot of plans before you reach to those bees with their stings. Am I right?
Right.
So if those plans are better than for you than to save the fire from the forest, then that means you did deliberately. I don't take those ones as an incident. You know what is incident?
Okay. Give me an incident.
You know what
example.
what would I call as an incident?
Yeah, give me one.
Yes, like maybe you shoot something through a gun and the fire sparks. You understand? And you
Right.
do not realize it, and you went. I can understand that could be an incident. Like sometimes when you fire animal in a dry forest, the other blades will go far distance and it can set a fire. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So those ones I can understand because before you realize that you went home already, I can understand that could be an incident.
Okay.
And the other incident also would be if you throw a bottle in the forest for some time up to around December, January, February, March. You don't realize that can able to set a fire, and a bottle can able to do it. A bottle can able to set a fire if it is hot in the forest.
Okay. Basically anything can be caused by a fire.
Yeah, many things. But me, I don't believe in incidents too much. I don't believe in incidents. I don't believe in those things too much.
But somebody has to be responsible if a fire is caused. If nobody's
And
responsible,
as much as Sulayman is concerned, one has to be responsible. Whether the chief will be responsible, whether the car will be responsible, or whether the compound owner
somebody
is
has to take
responsible.
responsibility. Someone has to take
responsibility as far as Sulayman is concerned. I don't take those ones.
And then
granted.
if nobody wants to take the responsibility, what does Sulayman do?
Yes, if no one wants to take the responsibility, I'll make sure that I will call an emergency meeting. with the chief around the area to give them strict warning of such, strict warning for that matter, and I'll tell them that my next plan against them.
Because you don't have any
So now,
surveillance camera, you don't have any technology to monitor these things, so there's no proof.
no. We even there is no technology, but let me tell you one thing: is like we have our officers around, and every day Gambians they can roam very well. They don't travel, but they can roam inside around villages. They can roam very well. So once you are a forestry officer, you need to bring that relationship with those type of people. Me, I don't my that's why if I do investigation anyhow, I'm always succeeded. You see, I can go to a village and find someone there whom that is always in forest, roaming everywhere as my best friend. And I can bring attire for him and a sugar, you understand, to be my best friend. Now I can do that. I take sometimes I give some things to someone just to be my friend, just to get what I wanted to get from the person. That's Sulayman. So, but now this is what is lacking in our department. I'm sorry to say, people they are not. I'm not saying they are not responsible. They are very responsible, to be honest with you, but they are afraid. They are afraid. They are afraid. That's the
Alright.
truth.
Yeah, that's my question. That's the end of my go. Famara and Sam, you guys can take it over.
Yeah, I can see that
Yeah.
Sulayman is a tough man, and maybe one day Sulayman could be a minister of the environment to be able to enforce those tough laws that are already in our constitution, because it's very important to have people like him in every department that is going to enforce the laws. The reason why Gambia is the way we are today is because we don't have people that will be bold enough to take the responsibility and hold themselves accountable and others accountable as well. So, and that's what he's doing. That's exactly what he's doing. So I definitely commend you for that, Mr. Jagne. So thank you for all your time, and thank you for the effort that you put in the environment, because forestry is part of our environment. It's very important to Gambia. We need to know that. The only thing I will continue to say is, and continue to push, is there's a lot of ignorance in Gambia. There's a lot of laws, but people don't know them. So majority of the Gambians don't know what the laws are or what the law says about certain things. So continuing that civic education and having a radio and television station programs, I think is going to help bring the awareness to people, so they can all say, oh, wow, I did not know this. I did not know this. So anytime you hear somebody say, oh, wow, I did not know that, you just educated somebody on something that they didn't know before. So, and chances are that person, with the word of mouth, if that person sees someone that is trying to do something wrong, they can tell them and say, you know what, did you know that that's against the law? Is because doing this can cost you this and that. They can tell the impact. So I would encourage the government to support you big time and stand behind you firmly and support your programs to go on radio and television and educate people first. Educate people first so that the ignorant people will be educated, and now they will know. The more people that know about the laws in the Gambia, the better we are going to stand, and the better we will fight all of these illegal fires that happen in our community. So thank you, and we will always be behind you. If anything in the government, even though we don't have direct access, but if anything, we can advocate to the government and say, this is exactly what Sulayman is doing, is exactly what we need every department to do. So we support him 100%. I will do that. I will support you 100% to make sure that we advocate your service, and we encourage people to use you as a role model in every department to do just the right thing. It's all about doing the right thing. The law says this, let's follow the law, let's do the right thing. That's all it takes. It's not like this person is too tough or this person is too badia. We don't want to go into badia when it comes to laws. Laws are laws. And no one is above the law. So we all need to follow the law. And if we have someone that is strictly following the law and enforcing the law, kudos to you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to finalize it before Famara closes us up. Just one thing that we're very proud of you, Sulayman, the tone and then the tenacity to really implement the law. I wish all civil servants are like this. I wish our leadership, approach things like that, because that's the only way the country can be saved. That's the only way Gambia, we can have the Gambia that we are dreaming of. But this maslaha, this backdoor deal, this favoritism, this dishonesty, this corruption, this
Eh,
ingenuity,
eh,
this is what is
Mr.
destroying us. Once we
Mr.
step
Sawaneh,
up and started to,
Sawaneh, I'm not quoting you, but what we are saying here right now, this corruption, the word corruption has reminded me on something.
I'm glad I said it. Okay.
Yes, just recently there was an assignment given to me. I think I informed Famara about it some time ago. It was a state assignment that was given to me to conduct in Manduari. So during that investigation, there are a lot of threats, financial threats, spiritual threats. All those came along. People will tell me now we have $500,000 is check for you to maslaha the investigations. And I told them that look, okay. They said they want to meet me at the airport, Johnson. I said no problem, you can meet me, but I don't know why you calling me. They said yes. So when I was going there, I took one of my friends with me because I know it might not be easy and that very adventure because I suspect of financial threat. And when I went there, and that's exactly what I found. I found and there was a $500,000 check withdrawn from on my name, in favor of Sulayman that they want to give me this so that I can share with my panelists and being the head of the investigation, so that I can share this with my panelists. I told them good, but I think you made the wrong persons. So I told them that now I want you to understand that Sulayman to bribe a public officer is a capital offense, and that capital offense will not leave you today where you are. You have to be in the cell today, because I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this issue on the media, and I'll make sure that the president knows about this, and I'll make sure that the IG knows about this, and I'll make sure that the NIA, the SIS director knows about this. So they told me no, it doesn't reach at that point. Once you don't want to take our offer, we leave you to go, Suleiman. So I said no. You people are the one who is making our country backward. You are bribing. This bribing has to be stopped. It has to be stopped today. And henceforth, I took my telephone and I called the police commissioner. I told him that I'm in the airport, Johnson. I wanted to send at least 2 men to come and arrest a culprit for me, because I called them a culprit at that time. Because they should not even tell me that. That's an insult to me, an insult to my profession, an insult to me as a public officer. So I feel, those type of things need to be stopped. And many people came there. The people begged me before those police officers will be around. They begged me. They said, Suleiman, please, please, please. I beg. I said, no. I want them to stop what they are doing. These are the people that are corrupting people, and without their will. Because my salary is not up to 15,000. If you are throwing 500,000 check for me with my 5 panelists, what are you telling me? Each of us should have $100,000, which is more than my 5 month salary, or my 8 month salary. So those are the type of people, we need to publish them. We need to surface all their dirty actions. So henceforth, I warn my panelists also. I told them that this is what happened to me yesterday, and this is my actions. And anyone who took it, without my notification, when I know about it, I'm going to write about you, and you'll be sacked, and you may even leave your job as well. So that was my stand in that point. That reminds me when you say corruption, Mr. Sawaneh. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Thank you, Saul. Thank you so much. Thank you, Saul. This is great. Yeah, I'm about to leave. I'm going to work, but thank you so much for your time. And this is not going to be the last time. We'll bring you in as topics comes along. And just like Sam suggested, please
Yep.
occupy the media because there are a lot of negative thinking and negative statement against forest officers because simply people feel that forest officers are not doing their job. Why is people cutting down trees? Why are people logging, timber from one place to another without the police knowing, without the forest officers knowing? And some of you people blame the forest officers that they are even conniving with these people doing these things. So it is up to you guys to come out and let us know about the law, but also clear some of this misinformation going around the country. We know you are very hardworking, and we know that you have a very limited resources, and this is what we're going to make our voice heard to the government that the forestry need help because the government of the Gambia, they are not putting so much budget into natural resources. Okay,
Exactly.
the Department of Forestry, Department of Parks and Wildlife, these are the government institutions that are kind of neglected, and then they need help because they don't see the ecosystem services that a forest is providing to the nation. They're only talking after the institutions that are bringing in revenue directly, the millions they are seeing, but they don't know that you cannot quantify the oxygen that human beings need to breathe every day. You cannot quantify that. But that is what the forest is providing for us. And then without the forest, the agriculture, which is the backbone of our country, cannot thrive without protecting the environment. We put so much effort and energy into our health sector, but without clean environment, we cannot have healthy body. So all of these are being overlooked. So we need to put our country and the government to put more resources and time to the natural resource sector. I'm glad President Barrow was in Nairobi, Kenya recently, and he had the opportunity. They took him around to go see Mount Kenya National Park. He was in a safari truck. They drive him around to see the lions and the cheetahs and the leopards, how they're interacting in the wild. And I'm glad that the president see that. And I'm challenging him when he comes back. He go visit Abuko Nature Reserve and see how that place is right now. It needs help. And the president have not been there. I don't know whether he have even visited Abuko Nature Reserve or not. But these are areas that we need to take care of so that we can boost our tourism. A lot of tourists coming in now in Gambia. Most of them are crossing Senegal to go to Fatala, to go and see those animals in the wild, like the ones in the zoo, the zebras, the tigers, the lions, the walking lions. All the visitors are moving because Abuko Nature Reserve, we only got hyenas there. The lions are all dead. The area is in a horrible condition. At least President Jagne did efforts to bring animals from South Africa and put it in his zoo in Kanilai. But after 2026, that area is abandoned. Nobody take care of Kanilai Zoo. All those animals, the zebras and the wildebeest he brought over, are all dead. Only the hyenas are struggling there right now.
Wow.
The pool full of crocodiles are also hungry. And thanks to the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust, they are doing their best to feed those animals because the government did not take care. Nobody's taking care of Kanilai Zoo. It's abandoned. So all that resources and investment Jammeh did, bring in the zebras and the hyenas and then the other giraffes and all the wildebeest, they've all gone. They died. They died because nobody's taking care. So that's really sad. And I hope that government will intervene in this kind of situation. So thank you so much, Saul. And we wish you all the best of luck. Keep it up. When you are working in the Gambia government institution and you are honest and straightforward, it's going to be very hard because sometimes you even find your colleagues are even going to isolate you because they always say the key bugu dara nyimal la fi fenna alkana fem fay nali ya fay fara amanta fem fola je amanta fenkela koto because you are against corruption. That's what we face in our country. And don't fear implementing laws. We all gone through this. I have slept 2 nights at NIA for stopping Jammeh's truck from illegal mining in Batokunku. But that's my job as a program officer at the National Environment Agency. We monitor the entire coastline of the Gambia from Bunyadu in Nyomi to Alahain in Kartong. any development happening in the coastline, whether it's hotel, whether it's fisheries development, whether it's forestry, it's wildlife, you have to take permission from the National Environment Agency. When we don't give you permission, any other thing is done illegally, I have the power to arrest and take you to court, just like you did to your father and the other alcalos. And that's what exactly I did to Jammeh's truck. I have confiscated them. I went to Liive family farm and told the President Jammeh's cousin, something Bojang, Pa Bojang, and tell him what you did is wrong, it's illegal. When you do it again, we will take you to court. And then guess what? He think maybe the message was going to the president. He used the NIA officers to come and call us for investigation. They're trying to block us so that the information doesn't go higher up. And we stood our ground and say, we are doing our job. We are public servants. The president's truck is illegally mining in Batakunku when all the trucks supposed to mine in Katong and Sanyang. Why are they mining in Batakunku? That is illegal, and whether the president is aware of it or not, but these officers are doing illegal job, and this is what we did. But they, you know how the system operates, they use the NIAs to question us and illegally detain us at the NIA for 2 nights, and eventually we have to be released because we have evidences, we have pictures, and we are mandated by the National Environment Management Act to do what we're supposed to do. And then American Peace Corps was among us. The U.S. Embassy refused for the American Peace Corps to be detained 2 nights, but for us working for the Gambia government, we are detained for 2 nights. The embassy stopped. They said, no, the Peace Corps volunteer is not going to be detained. He has to be charged or released. And that's what they did. They refused for him to be to be detained. But we, the Gambians, we are detained for 2 nights. So you can see how sometimes when you're working for Gambia government, what you go through. But at the end of the day, what we did was wrong, was correct. And then they have no case against us. So I want to encourage you to do what you do it with transparency and then honesty, and don't fear to execute the law. And then Allah will always be with you. Thank you so much, Sulayman.
Thank you.
And for all the work you have done for our country
and
in the
Mrs. Sawaneh and Ceesay. Famara, I just want to help you here. One thing, like forestry officers, sometimes is very difficult on them. And because one thing also is disturbing them. Some are very good, but like capacity, you feel if you leave this job, it will be difficult for you. So we are encouraging government also to help our people to capacitize them so that at least they can be in a position to execute. You know, forestry officers, sometimes we are accused of something that we are not even we don't even know what's happening. We are always accused. Because you know what we are guiding is not at home. It's sleeping outside. So sometimes it's very difficult for someone to. It's very easy for someone to tarnish our name even we are not aware of. You understand? That's another point. Because I have a lot of incidents when I'm going to our village. I do have some challenges around the road with some people, but at the end of the day, they said what are forestry officers. After the investigation, I normally found that those words are not true. So sometimes they accuse us on issues which is not true as well. You know, yeah. So let me leave you guys. Thank you so much. I know Famara is very busy and he wanted to go and attend a job now, and might also I want to go and pray Maghrib prayer. And I wish all of you all the best. And I thank you for the time. And I really thank you for that invitation given to me as a guest. And I know I'm not the only one in the Gambia here, but I think there's a trust and belief in me. That's why you people gave me the opportunity. With that, I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, one thing I'll say for sure, if you don't become the president of the Gambia until I become president, guess what? I will be contacting Famara to get hold of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so much, guys.
Thank you, Sulayman. Thank you, Famara.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. And Famara, have a great day.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Jagne, thank you for your time. I appreciate you very much. And thanks, Dr. Sawaneh.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.